Hey, everybody. Uh, we have a lot to get to this afternoon, so I'm your moderator, Phil Callahan. I'm a data scientist at CSols. So I'll be introducing our speaker, Ted, and reading any questions at the end, if we have time before I pass it off to Dale, I believe. You can use the Q&A tab to send questions throughout the talk, and then Megan and Becky will be posting polls, and Ted will be telling you to go answer the polls. So be sure to answer those because there is a participation prize at the end. So be sure you engage. Let's see, I think that takes care of all the housekeeping. I got to sit in a few early versions of Ted's talk, and I know I personally deal with many of these concepts daily. So this is a topic that's very interesting to me. Ted Slater is a managing principal of scientific informatics consulting at EPAM Systems, focusing on healthcare and life sciences. And he previously held senior roles in several large pharmaceutical companies, content providers, and biotech startups, including Pfizer, Merck, and Elsevier. He's a co-author of the FAIR Guiding Principles for Scientific Data Management and Stewardship, and an expert in the application of knowledge engineering and artificial intelligence to pharmaceutical R&D and related domain areas. He holds a master's in molecular biology from UC Riverside and a master's in computer science from New Mexico State University, and is currently based in northwestern Lower Michigan. Did I get that right, Ted?
You sure did. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, you can go ahead whenever you're ready. I'll hop off camera and then be back at the end.
All right, sounds good. So thank you for that introduction, and thanks to the organizers for having me. I'm excited to talk about what I'm going to talk about today because I think it's a really important topic, certainly for laboratory informatics, but healthcare and life sciences has always been one of my favorite areas of study, and I think data is really critical in these spaces. And I'll talk a little bit about where our emphasis has been for a couple of decades now, and where maybe we should think about that emphasis being in the future. We'll get there in just a second. Right now, I would like to show you what I promise is the most boring slide in the slide deck. This is just a little bit about me so that you so that maybe you'll feel good about listening to what I have to say on this topic. Phil gave me some good information already about what's going on, but I'll just say I spent some time in big pharmaceutical companies and things like knowledge management, but I was also on the business side of the house in pharma, which I hope gives me a little bit of credibility to talk about what kinds of data are being generated and how people use them in organizations. It's been really fun for me, and I like being on both sides of the pharma house with regard to the business and IT, and I think that helps us all if we're working together better in that space, because those people have two different kinds of brains for the most part. I think that's really gonna help us. Let me tell you just a little bit about the group I'm in at EPAM, and we'll talk about EPAM in a bit. The group I'm in is called Scientific Informatics Consulting, and the people in that group, it's a small group. The people are a lot like me. They've got lots of experience working in healthcare and life sciences, so domain expertise is pretty important here, but there's also lots of experience in building systems and doing things that look like software engineering on all kinds of different scales. So some of what we do is scientific consulting. Some of what we do is technology services, and some of what we do is support. The idea here, though, is bringing